And we're live.
Okay, we are live, building up to the third ODI to be played between India and West Indies in a series that India has already won.
Yeah.
Please welcome our new member, Shane. Please introduce
So this
Abhijit.
is Abhijit. He works with the AajTak app team, and he's making his Sports Today debut today. So
where is my debut cap?
Saransh
will
with the
get
debut
that.
cap, yeah? Saransh will get it.
Okay. sometime later.
Give your debut helmet.
Debut helmet.
We have
ठीक है.
we have plenty of those.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we have loads of those around feathers.
Debut helmet.
MI, yeah.
Oh, the
MI,
Mumbai
he likes it.
one.
Mumbai. Please.
Thank you for the honor. MI.
All the best.
Thank you. I'll keep my
Debut
helmet here.
Debut cap to Abhijit. So all the wonderful articles that you guys read on the AajTak app, contributed by Abhijit here. For those of you who don't know, Abhijit is also a member of our cricket team.
Yeah.
He's an opening batsman and an opening bowler.
And she's the new bowler.
Opening batter with Nicholson.
My partner.
My partner, my opening
Partner in crime.
Partner in crime, exactly.
And we have some opening records.
We have opening records in the league. Saransh, please, can you help us see, if you are just kind enough? We have a few records in the sports, the highest opening run stands and blah, blah, blah. We definitely have that. So Abhijit is joining us. Okay, we take a lot of questions here. So see, Bharat is saying, welcome Abhijit.
And
Thank
Big Boy's
you,
asking
Bharat.
who's the new kid on the
Thank you
block.
so much.
That's Abhijit.
Who's the new kid? Abhijit. Abhijit is a very good cricketer, by the way. Yeah? As you can see, he's fitter than us.
I don't know
Really
about
good.
me, definitely.
We all are.
Me also, yeah.
Come on, look at the age difference.
Age difference, yeah. We were struggling to make. First, I suggested let's make a team of 40 above and 40 below, and then I realized that we only have 3 members. Then we had to cut it down to 30, and 30 also we're struggling to fit 11, but we're finally getting. Pawan is joining us from Melbourne.
Hello, Pawan.
How are you, Pawan? So, Soumya has pointed out the Insta Live. I thought before we get into the series and all the interesting bits about the series, I saw the Insta Live. And by the way, if you haven't seen the entire Insta Live, worry not. Check out Sports Today. And on Sports Today, we have the entire conversation. That is about a 35-minute conversation that Rishabh Pant did. So it is the best thing that I have seen today on the internet. If you have to see one thing on the internet today, one video, I would suggest watch that Insta Live. It is there, available on Sports Today. The 35 minutes were like totally unfiltered, honest.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about it.
Candid.
Yeah.
You'll love watching it.
And the best part was that Rishabh Pant, invited just random strangers like fans
Exactly.
to join in.
Yeah, because I remember I was tuning in one point, I'm like, who's this fourth guy?
Yeah.
Then later I realized, oh, this is a random fan.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
I love that bit. I just loved it. And the joy on the faces of these fans. That was
It's
incredible.
a major deal for these
Fabulous.
fans.
Like one guy, I think, wasted his opportunity, and I was watching and I was hoping that he says something. He kept saying, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So Rishabh said, Bhaiya, aap bolo to. And I was like, you have 5 minutes, dude. Go ask a question.
Yeah.
But he still couldn't get himself to ask a question. He said, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
No, it was one stress buster.
Yeah.
It was.
It brought a smile to my face.
It was definitely a very joyous thing to watch. I think that's one beautiful advantage of stuff like social media. You can actually do things like this, reach out to fans.
And I was just thinking, it's pretty risky to just invite anyone in the chat. I'll tell you why risky. Because, see, you know that once you're going live, how many 3 lakh people were watching them live. Now, if anyone says,
someone could do some attention-seeking stuff, right?
yes, could do anything. Could use inappropriate
Slurs,
language, slurs, anything. And then you would come under a lot of criticism in social media. People will point out.
Yeah.
See, the blame will come on you only. So quite courageous of him, and full credit to fans to maintain the decorum.
Exactly.
They came as fans. I also love that other one fan who came. He was talking in Marathi, who was like so excited, and he like showed his trophies. He must be a cricketer himself, trophies. They were also happy.
He was just being
cricket
himself,
है ना?
like any other person he was talking to.
I loved it, yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed the Insta Live. You guys must check it out. Okay, since Saransh is insisting I take this question.
I was about to point this out.
Avinash Avi says, how many leaves do you guys get on a monthly basis? Some of the other guys are missing. Your lives are very enjoyable than his life as a very boring software engineer. Wish I could be an analyst. Not worthy enough. Avinash, firstly, don't say that. Yeah, I'm sure you're worthy enough. And by the way, what you're doing, you may find it boring, but is also something that helps so many other different fields. Being a software engineer. So good on you to be doing what. In terms of leaves, we don't get. We seldom take leaves. We have a 5-day working.
Yeah.
And if you saw during the IPL, we were not doing that. We were actually doing
6 days. Yeah.
Yes,
You were doing 7 some days.
yeah, doing seven we were doing for the longest before you guys came.
Yeah, that beanbag was wonderful at that point.
Yeah.
It was major stress buster.
We have a beanbag where we catch up on our sleep.
Sometimes. Yeah.
No, but also that time before you guys had come, we had to do 7 days because there was nobody, right?
Actually, it was just you and Rahul, right?
Yes, and the channel needs to be fed. Digital medium
It never stops. There's a constant churn.
So you're always there. But usually now that we've got some sort of strength. So we thought, why not everyone work 5 days and get 2 days off? Though on some off days also we are working.
Yeah.
And even when we are at home, you know that we have to do.
We are always on
Always on
Actually,
standby.
that's the right
Like
way.
Saransh is a producer, he was on standby. He put all those wonderful sound bites that you heard of Shubman Gill on the channel. Ditto for Shane, he had to update you guys first
KL Rahul. Yeah.
that KL Rahul is not going to be going to that entire West Indies leg of the tour. So
No, it's something I think we all do. I think there's very rare occasions when I'm off, say on a weekend. I remember a couple of occasions, there was a Saturday I was off and F1's going on. So I'm like, okay, the quality is done. I've done it from home.
in journalism there are no offs.
No, exactly.
Flexible
You're just,
job.
Yeah. Flexible is the best way of putting it.
Yes, always. In fact, I mean, most of the time I've seen, whenever I've taken some sort of leave, the
Something
biggest
big turns,
news happens.
Something or the other comes out.
biggest
Thomas and
pops up.
Uber car.
Yeah.
Thomas and
That was technically a leave day for you and then India won.
no, forget this. I'll tell you, the worst was when 2017 Champions Trophy had gone to England to cover.
Right.
So the final happened, India lost. I did all my work, and then I had taken a full 1 week of holiday where I was going to
Proper
travel,
holiday, yeah.
where my wife had joined me right after the series, and then we were supposed, my daughter, my wife, she landed after everything got over, and we were so. And I'm going, and I left London, and I'm going, and then came the bombshell that Anil Kumble has left the Indian team.
Right.
He just. And the whole holiday was gone. Like, so I had to write articles, I had to do lives, interviews. 4 days gone out of the 7.
Back to
just
grind.
doing that.
So much for a holiday.
Yeah. So there are no holidays in our profession. Raj says, please bring Vimal. Yes, we do keep bringing him, but we were having some issues with the connection. So we couldn't take him live. That said, all the updates that Vimal does, all those updates are available right now. You can check it out on the
That's on
channel.
Sports Today.
Yes, it's there on the AajTak app, by the way.
New video out, tell them to check.
New video out where Vimal is actually explaining what happened during the practice, and it was raining, and who could practice, who could not. Some fresh sound bites of Shubman Gill. By the way, the latest that I can see on social media is that all the T20 big guns have joined the squad, and they're all at the ground right now. So while they're not playing,
They are around at least now.
yes, they've all reached there. They are the likes of Hardik Pandya, Ravichandran Ashwin. They're all at the ground at Port of Spain because
Ravichandran Ashwin, big wigs. Wait, he's getting a recall, right? Technically.
yeah, but he is.
DK,
DK.
everyone.
DK is there. Yes.
Jaddu is there.
Jaddu was supposed to be playing.
Jaddu was
but
already there, he was
He was
injured,
there. He
yeah.
got injured. No.
Ravi Jadeja.
Sir Ravindra Jadeja.
Sir Jadeja. We have a sir in that team. We have a lord also. We have
Yeah.
everything possible.
Lord.
Great Indian team, I tell you. It's almost toss time.
Well, take some questions. Yeah. I think there'll be changes, by the way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there would be some changes.
No. See, going by what the Indian team has done, if you look at that series at home versus Sri Lanka as well as West Indies, the third game, both in T20 and ODI, they used to make a lot of changes after they won the series.
Yeah.
Same thing has happened here. They won the series. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if someone like
Arshdeep, I think.
Shreyas Iyer rests.
Shreyas Iyer.
Could rest. You could bring in Rituraj Gaikwad. How you play him, there's another thing I think you would want to, because he's not part of the T20 squad. And if you got someone there for the series, you've got to give them one game before sending them back. I'm thinking that could be the case, because Shreyas is part of the T20 squad. He'll play.
He will be playing.
Same for Sky. I think you can rest him here because he's going to be playing the T20s.
Yeah, but
and
not Sanju. I really want
Not
him
Sanju,
to play.
not
I
Sanju.
really want him
Sanju,
to play.
Sanju will play.
He's not resting.
Sanju, Deepak Hooda, these guys who don't get too many chances will play.
Yeah.
For sure. And who else? I don't know whether Ishan gets a chance today. He could. But I know he's part of the T20 squad also, but Ishan could get a chance today. So I think this is what the Indian team under Rahul Dravid has done recently. We've seen that they have been making a lot of changes once they won the series. So expect a few changes today as well. In bowling, you could bring back a Prasidh Krishna simply because he's not part of the T20 squad. And Avesh is. So Avesh could be rested. Siraj and Prasidh, maybe they both play.
Siraj.
Yeah. Siraj will also play because he's not part of the T20 squad. Mr. Shekhar has a question. Why don't you take a chain?
So he says, no matter how elegantly Gill plays or Iyer and Sanju score 50s, given the opponents and the tussle, nothing short of a daddy 100 should appease the selectors, move beyond stats and make it harder for breaking into the 11. Interesting point.
No, but I don't think Shubman anyway makes it in the 11 right now.
Exactly. Right now, not a chance.
Yeah, because your 8 of your first choice players are missing.
Exactly.
Once they're back, Shubman doesn't make it. So I think you're right in a way that he does need to make a daddy 100. But I would still say he's impressed. He looks good, yes.
Yeah.
At the end of the runs also count. He's got runs in both games. He would have wanted a big daddy 100 for sure.
Yeah.
But he's got runs in both games. So I think in the future you will see him. But he will be a contender once you try and revamp your teams, your white ball teams going forward. I think he'll be a
He should be walking into most of the ODI teams at least when you have one of those two resting.
Yeah. Piyush Nandre, is it time to add some context to ODI bilaterals?
There is context. No, you already have the Super League thing concept for, so there is some degree of context there.
Yeah, but you know what the Super League, the thing is, I don't know, maybe both of you can also chip in here. The Super League, the thing is that the top teams, see, that is for qualification of the World Cup. The top teams anyway make
Are
it.
there, exactly. And see what South Africa did, right?
Exactly. South Africa, like, saying no.
No,
we'll
make it somehow.
We'll make it.
But we need to prioritize our T20 league.
Yeah.
Which is where the money is at, quite
So
frankly.
the top teams are, again, they are unaffected.
Yes. So the context could be, the one context you can bring is if you go back to that triangular, quadrangulars that you used to have.
Yeah.
To make it interesting.
Yeah. And then what happens, even the victory tastes sweeter.
Exactly.
So if you win a quadrangular, like you remember the days of Sharjah or when you went to Australia, you always had those tri-series, quadrangular series. So if you won, you remember those victories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you'd be playing group stages, play each twice, then make it to a final. Why is NatWest series so celebrated?
Yes.
Because it's not just about the fact that India chased down 300 runs. It's the fact that you had a nice little trophy at stake as well.
India won the toss. The latest is. And India's batting first.
Yes. And Shikhar Dhawan says we will like to post a good score today.
As opposed to bad scores that they were posting.
See again, both teams, by the way, I think are guilty of not playing up to potential when they are batting first. For example, India could have gone on to 330-40 first ODI.
Comfortably.
They didn't reach there because that second half they didn't get that impetus they needed. The second half of the inning, the start was very good, looked like 330. Same with West Indies and their batting, by the way. And I don't know, again, nothing, I'm not taking anything away from Shea Hope. He got 100, great.
Superb 100.
Yeah, but at that strike rate, now the thing is, that total, if let's say West Indies had got 330, you would have put it out of India.
Yeah.
You gave them a chance. Why? And I think that's the problem with the West Indies team. Before this series started, the noises coming out of the West Indies camp is, no, we need to bat 50 overs. So when the coach is saying that, the captain is saying that, no, our first focus is bat. So then Shai Hope says, fine, let's bat 50 overs.
Yeah.
And to be fair, his 80 strike rate, 100 was about 10 strike rate more than we expected. In all fairness,
Was it 80? Was it 70?
It was 80, 85 or something. That's not exactly.
No, but you caught up later.
Exactly. Caught up later is fine. But again, we expected him to stay at the 60-70 mark throughout.
Yeah.
So
No, 60-70 would have been too less. Would have been too less.
yeah, 85 is fine considering he batted that long. So.
Yeah. No, but see, that's what I'm saying. Had your team not been telling you just bat 50 overs, had they told you, go ahead
and play your stroke.
then you would have got.
Although interestingly, only one change.
I told you, Prasidh is going to come in today. Prasidh comes in for
Avesh Khan.
See, because Prasidh is only for the ODI.
Yeah, he's not going to be playing the T20s, yes.
And Avesh is there in the T20.
I think Avesh and Arshdeep will be seen more during that series, the 5 matches.
Yes. So Prasidh will get that chance. Feeling for Ruturaj, I don't think Ruturaj is part of the T20 squad. He's not. So sad for him. He misses out.
Ishan Kishan is there, though. So
yeah. So no changes in the batting front also, huh? So no resting of. So fair enough. I mean, if I was Shreyas also, I wouldn't want to rest.
want to be resting at this point.
I'm getting runs. Why should I want to rest?
Exactly.
So India have gone in with almost the same 11, barring one change. So Shikhar Dhawan, Shubman Gill will open. Shreyas at 3. By the way, Shreyas has come out and said that he loves to bat at 3. Then you got Sky at 4, Sanju Samsung at 5, Deepak Hooda, Akshar Patel, Shardul, Siraj, Yuzi Chahal, Prasidh Krishna. Yuzi Chahal, who was unceremoniously removed from the Insta Live yesterday.
Justice for Yuzi.
Justice for Yuzi after he was removed. And he kept wanting to come back, but they wouldn't bring him back.
Yeah.
They rather go with the fans than bring Yuzi Chahal back.
Or get a MS Dhoni cameo.
MS Dhoni cameo the worst.
Okay, I have a question. So don't you think Sanju should be promoted up the order?
The problem with this team, honestly, is what I see is it's essentially your entire middle to lower order is filled with middle order batsmen.
Or top order,
Exactly. Besides an Akshar, there's no one who is a designated lower order bat.
No, that's why I think Hooda still fits in there because Hooda has played that role. But I agree that between Shreyas, Sky and Sanju all are that
even
top order
for me, even Sanju is batting too low, but the
that's what he's asking actually. I agree with you, but I think the problem here is that all 3 of them are in that same position. And if you have to bat anywhere at 5, any one of those at 5, it'll look like he's batting 1 spot or 2 spots below their natural.
And why Sanju is batting there, I think, is because Shreyas and Sky are in your scheme of things for those positions. Sky is your designated number 4. Shreyas is your backup for Virat and Sky. So that's why they are getting to play in those positions.
No, so I understand. I think that's a valid logic that you're saying. That's why I think between these 3 who are like similar batsmen, Sanju is batting below because in that pecking order they are ahead. But I don't think it's a bad option what Abhijit is saying. Maybe for this game you push him
for this very game.
Actually you could. It won't be the worst idea in the world.
I mean, I don't think it'll be any issue like you tell us Shreyas that listen, you batted at 3 already.
You never know, he might end up smashing a brilliant century today.
And justice for Sanju treads loud and strong.
No, good. So you could do that. I mean, why don't you tell Sanju bat there? But then Deepak Hooda will say that I'd also prefer to bat a little higher. Give me also.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Besides Akshar and to an extent Hooda, all of them for India are going to be playing 3, 4, 5 at most. Nothing lower than that. Abbas Rizvi is saying Rishabh Pant's Insta Live has reduced the gap between fans and players. It was nice to see how they were listening and greeting each fan. Absolutely.
Completely agree, Abbas. I loved it.
Totally.
I love that whole conversation. I love the fact that...
And big kudos to the fans for actually... maintaining their decorum.
Fans are also fantastic. So I know that they have got a new addition into the Indian team apart from Prasidh Krishna coming into the 11. Paddy Upton has joined the Indian team.
Yes.
But he's a mental conditioning coach. But just looking at that Insta Live, I think mental condition is pretty good.
They seem pretty relaxed. Those guys.
Total chill. It ended with them discussing that let's go down and get wet in the rain, which they may have.
They might just have.
So mental conditioning, of course. I mean, eventually I know what he's there for, and he's going to look at match preparation and things like that. But I'm just saying, generally the mental conditioning and the atmosphere within the team seem very good. Nice, friendly banter between all of them, and that's good to see. Can you imagine, like 15 years ago, like similar, like Rahul Dravid, Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly doing an Insta live, and
Would have broken the internet.
I can only visualize that camaraderie among the players.
but they wouldn't have been this casual and fun loving, like how Rishabh was. हाँ भैया बोलो ना बोलो.
Actually, the 3 people or the 4 people, including Yuzi, who were there, are also characters like that.
Yuzi.
They are all very chill, relaxed people. Pant also is the same. Rohit, his press conferences are the stuff of legend. He has one quotable at least every this thing. Even Surya is a known prankster. So there's a lot of them. They're all very relaxed, and that kind of shown through.
Yeah. In fact, Surya was the least relaxed out of the.
Actually,
Rohit talks as if he's casual only all the time. Same with Rishabh. Yuzi also. They were discussing.
Yuzi to everyone is bhaiya. Rohit bhaiya.
Every other player is bhaiya for him.
But Rishabh was calling Yuzi bhaiya.
How he would? I think Pant was the youngest of that lot.
I noticed that.
Obviously.
24, I think he is.
There is one very interesting moment in that chat where Avesh is there on the other line. Oh, by the way, in that chat, Akshar Patel is also there throughout, getting a massage. So there is an interesting moment where Avesh is there and they're talking via the phone with Avesh like that, and then Surya someone says, अरे आवेश को भी ले लो ना लाइन पे. So ऋषभ like नहीं आवेश को नहीं. So Surya says, हाँ क्योंकि वो लखनऊ चला गया, that is why. So he said, नहीं भैया ऐसा कुछ मत बोलो, फिर कंट्रोवर्सी हो जाएगा कि लखनऊ गया दिल्ली से. Nothing like that. That was also funny.
That's a good line actually. Yeah. We have a super chat. Can we check that?
Kushal Khurana is saying Thala being shy for a reason, Thala for another season.
Wow.
Good one. Kushal always comes up with gems. But the Thala cameo was fantastic. Okay. Captain.
I like his username.
Whatever it is.
Username.
So he is saying, having let go of the Cricket Australia rights, Sony has offered a blank check to ECB. Does it matter? No, when Disney will just wait and one up the offer if they want. Your views.
The key is in that last part. If they want.
Yeah. No, I don't think they're going to go crazy in terms of both Disney and Sony.
Correct.
And I don't know whether, I don't know, you're saying that I don't know of this development that they've offered a blank check. I don't think Sony will do that either. Because the England series is important, but they wouldn't pay any amount, especially considering the ICC rights are going to be up, where all of them are going to be participating, and then India rights, the BCCI rights are also going to be up. So
that would be the most valuable.
Yeah, so I don't think you'll want to splurge for England rights. You'd want it, and I know it'll be a big blow or it is already a big blow for Sony that Disney has got the Australia rights.
Yeah.
They were caught napping there, but I still don't feel that they'll go for any amount. I doubt it. So. By the way, the other funny bit, since he was talking about Dhoni, he was at a salon, isn't it? And
that was my favorite part, actually.
And he said it also, कि शायद बाल color कराया something like that.
Pan said this. Color करा रखा है.
भैया को रखो थोड़ी देर Ratnesh God says that's what Rohit's captaincy is all about. Every player is comfortable around him, which could be true.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's not to say that players weren't comfortable around Virat Kohli. Yeah, but just that I think whatever little I know of them, I think Rohit is a more approachable, fun-loving guy who, I don't think players are
as it is.
Yeah, I don't think players are reluctant to go to him. They're like. They're okay, chill captain. Even though they said there was this one time that something happened कि अरे दो ही लोग रह सकते हैं. So one of them says अरे फिर I'll go, let the captain be there. You could see that sort of hierarchy, that captain, let him be there. But I know that for a captain to join and then be as chill as he was,
and to be there the whole time.
Yeah,
the whole time. Rohit was there.
Yeah, he was. First he said, "क्या कर रहा है ऋषभ?" किसी को भी when he was getting the fans.
Yeah.
In his typical Mumbaikar slang.
You know, some people may think that he's rude, but he's not.
Yeah.
It's just that's the way he talks. Is
Yeah, when you get to know the player,
yes.
get to know this.
Yeah. So Rohit just talks like that. I don't think he's being rude or arrogant.
No.
Udit Chandani has a good question. Why does Deepak Huda eat a lot of balls at the start? So Udit, I'll tell you the few things. One, I think what we are finding very confusing, and we do find it very confusing, is switching of the format. You've seen him in T20, where you saw him smacking the ball from the word go, and so you expect the same thing out of him here.
Yeah.
But please have a look at everyone's strike rate. Everyone is below the 100-run mark, most of them, whether it is Shikhar, Shubman, everyone is batting like that.
Yeah.
Just that you've seen him in that avatar, so you accept them at that strike rate. But Huda you've seen at 150, 60, 70 strike rate, so you expect him there. It won't happen. He's also trying to play according to the format. And the second bit is, you want to say?
Yeah, I was saying this ODI demands a different temperament altogether.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what he's doing. And the other thing I think that which I pointed out earlier, and that there's no excuse, and he needs to find a way. I think the pitches in Caribbean are not the best suited to Deepak Huda's style of batting. He likes like quicker pitches where the ball really comes onto the bat. That's why you see him do very well. You'll see him in certain Indian pitches. You saw him do well at Ireland, England, you know, those kind of pitches. Where West Indies, where your pitches are slightly sluggish or the ball holds up after pitching, that's not ideal to his liking, but that's no excuse. He needs to find a way to perform there also. But I'm just saying that strike rate will take a beating here. You might see it in T20s also. But you give him the same guy, you give him pitches in Australia, those kind of bouncy, you know, good pitches, I think you will see a much better strike rate. That's at least my assessment from the outside. Sagar Singhal says, can you please urge Star Sports to change their commentary panel? My ear bleeds when listening. No cricket like talks like Hazeman, Bishop and Razandu. Sagar, can I tell you one thing? To your point, I mean, I'm not going to compare different commentary panels, but I've often said that there is this misconception amongst broadcaster that commentary has to be all about humor and fun and not about cricket. And I think that's the biggest misconception, especially in Hindi. Most broadcasters feel that the Hindi audience is dumb, so they only come here for masala, so let's give them masala and not do cricket, which is not true, by the way. I think classifying audience based on the language that they listen to is the biggest folly that anyone does. The Hindi audience is as smart, knowledgeable and sharp about cricket as any other language speaking audience. They know their cricket inside out. And by the way, I never understood adding masala to commentary, because you don't need to add anything more to entertain. The cricket is entertainment.
Yes.
The sport in itself, I've come to watch cricket and that is entertainment. I don't need any masala. I don't need any humor. Those are my thoughts. I'm not saying I'm right, but I don't know. You guys...
No, I completely agree with you.
No, I think after a point, I reached a point where I just stopped listening to pre-game. And this is, I'm talking as an English viewer also.
He's even talking about commentary while the match is on.
Sometimes commentary can be a chore to
I know of a lot of people who listen on mute, by the way. A lot of people.
That's why, even during IPL, so many people would ask us, please do a commentary along type.
People would.
People would ask us, because they're like, it hurts to listen to these people talk about, unfunny random things. That's it. It's one thing if you're someone like a Danny Morrison, who's naturally funny. It's not forced.
Or a Bumble.
Yes. They're not forced.
But again, I'm not talking in particular about anyone, and there are some great commentators that India have. But this whole thing of adding masala, you're not needed. If I was, selecting the commentary panel, I'll just pick the guys who can best keep the audience engaged, talking about what's happening.
Exactly.
That's the only criteria. You don't have to be the guy who can rhyme words or come up with poetry, or the guy who can crack jokes. That's not needed. That is good for a stand-up act. Why do you need
masala? You're looking for is cricket.
Exactly.
On screen.
Exactly.
In the product. Don't add more.
Exactly. And on the other thing, you said that tell Star Sports, I wish I had that kind of powers. I don't. So if I do someday, I will tell them. Next chat, why don't you take that? Rahul Vasudev has a question. He's joining us from Australia.
Okay, hello Rahul. So the question he posed is the ideal scenario, or this was the ideal scenario, to rest Dhawan and Yuzi for Rituraj / Ishan and Arshdeep. Could have tried Shreyas or Samson as captain as well. Opportunity lost, I would say. I mean, Dhawan, I don't think resting him now makes sense because
I
he's
also
only
don't agree.
playing ODIs.
Correct.
So
Dhawan would have made no sense to rest him. He only plays this form.
And also Arshdeep for Yuzi means what, you going with no spinner? Akshar, you're resting, you want to bring in Arshdeep, you're resting one of the pacers.
Yeah. No.
And Samson is captain.
Also, remember, by the way, I wouldn't want to rest Yuzi because Yuzi is not part of the T20
T20
squad.
has also, exactly.
Yes.
Inexplicably, he's not in that squad.
No, I don't think that's a selection call based on performance. That's mostly that I think they know that he's there. He's a number one spinner. He's
I hope that's the case.
No,
unlike
it
last
is,
year.
it
For
is.
now, we
It is,
want
it is.
Shreyas and Sanju to perform as batter.
Exactly.
Correct. Exactly.
When you're talking about future captains, you already are seeing poor KL who can't catch a break at this point.
Yeah.
He's probably, I think, the next in line.
Yep. Divyansh says, will KL...
So
just read the question also.
So Divyansh asked that will KL be available in the T20 series? Now, as we know, he had gone to the NCA and ended up catching COVID. So it was said that he'd miss maybe the first 2 ODIs. Now he's been advised by the BCCI doctors to take another week off to rest and recuperate properly and recover from the bout of COVID. So he's not going to be part of even the latter 3 matches. So he's not going to be there. I think most likely, let's see, Zimbabwe would be his next opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's also an ODI series, but yes.
Mohit Pal wants to know Bhuvneshwar Kumar in test. Sure, he can be. He's getting the form back, but I don't think that they will even experiment with this idea till the 2023 ODI World Cup. Because we've seen it with Bhuvneshwar in the past. You try and push him a bit and then he injures himself.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys remember, there was a story reported a few years ago where it was widely reported, quoting people from the BCCI, where I think Bhuvi himself had let the BCCI know that he's not really up to red ball cricket at the moment and you just want to concentrate on white ball cricket. And I'm not saying that Bhuvi doesn't like test cricket because he's played a lot of 4-day cricket, Ranji Trophy cricket. I think it's primarily because maybe he understands his body and he knows that he may not be fit enough to be playing all formats. So Bhuvi himself and now the BCCI, looking at how important he's going to be in these 2 World Cups that are coming up, will risk that. Post that, I don't know whether he'll be young enough to be playing all format. I don't know. So I don't know the future of Bhuvi, the red ball player. But Bhuvi, the white ball player, is very crucial to India.
Yeah.
So, wrap him up in cotton wool and show that he's fit. And now he's coming back to his best. If he gets back to his best, that peak 2016, 17, he was unplayable at that time in white ball cricket.
Then having him and Bumrah in the same lineup, good luck.
And that time he was ahead of Bumrah because he would get you wickets swing. Both ways he could swing, he'd get you wickets early. Then his death bowling was outstanding. Where when Rashid and him, when they were for SRH, they would defend anything.
They would defend 140, 150 most
any
of the time.
Total they would defend because they would just not leak runs. So imagine if you get that Bhuvi back, then look after him. Don't use him. Captain is back. He says, I'm with you, sir, but didn't Sony did the same with IPL for 10 years? What happened so suddenly that when other boards did the same? So he's saying how they lost the IPL. By the way, interestingly, I think Sony were not happy at losing the IPL after keeping it for 10 years. You also have to give credit to Sony, and a lot of people don't. In making the IPL what it is, we keep talking about Lalit Modi, but Sony also played a major role as broadcasters in taking IPL where it was. Because when the product of IPL came to Sony, it was just a fresh product where people weren't, really sure of where it's going to go. So with their marketing, with their broadcast, everything, Sony played a major role. They lost out there because, quite frankly, if you look at how the bidding that time went, they had the highest bid for TV. But Sony weren't really, in terms of their vision, really hadn't put digital that high.
Yes.
So they had gone, they were the highest bidders in TV. Star only won it in a combined bid of TV and digital, where Star put a lot of emphasis on digital. Maybe they had that plan, yes. Whereas Sony were not that, forward looking, where they realized the potential of digital. I think that's where they lost out. In hindsight, if you ask them today, they may have gone. The other thing that where Sony were a little caught, where they didn't focus on regional languages, and Star, credit to Star, I think they saw two things which Sony was not. Sony kept looking at it as a TV property because they built it up, and so the numbers they came up with were only very TV centric. Credit to Star, they not only saw the TV potential, they thought that they could take IPL to a next level on digital as well as multi-language, and they did. So Sony were caught out napping there, and I think that's where they lost out. In hindsight, if you tell them, go back 5 years when that bidding was happening, they would have realized the potential of digital and regional languages, which they didn't see, quite frankly. So you got to blame the leadership group there. That's why Sony lost out. They shouldn't have, but they did. Lakshya Sukhija, take the question.
So he's asking, why is Shreyas is so ignored by people? He's not praised as much as he should be. Saying that he only scores against the Windies is wrong. He has 100 against New Zealand in New Zealand against Pacers. See the highlight. So
what we have said on Shreyas, I mean, if you guys have thoughts, do share. But I've often said on the platform about Shreyas, and in fact we've defended him. A lot of people have said a problem against short pitch bowling.
Drop him.
Yeah. No, but the thing is, I know he has a problem against short pitch bowling. You know it. The opposition team knows it. But at the end of the day, if I'm Shreyas Iyer, I will take my profile and I'll show you. Look at my numbers in Test. Look at my numbers in ODI. Look at my numbers in T20 International. On all three formats, he's got very impressive numbers. So if I'm Shreyas Iyer, I'll say, listen, okay, I have a problem against short pitch bowling, fine. And by the way, Shreyas has accepted it himself. I have a problem against short pitch bowling, fine. But can you argue with these numbers? You cannot. So with that problem, I'm getting you runs. How does it matter how I get my runs?
Yeah. And he is working on it, because I remember prior to the ODI series, when in the same venue practice was washed out, and one of the visuals we got from Vimal was when they're showing Shreyas practicing, and they had one of the bowling coaches consistently throw down only short balls, and he was practicing his pulls and hooks. So it's not like he's not working on it. You have to give him that time, because it's not like he hasn't been scoring runs at all and then this weakness came into fore. He had been scoring a lot of runs.
And I've heard from a few reports coming out of West Indies that Rahul Dravid's spending a lot of time with him, working on that.
Who better than...
Yeah, so he's working. By the way, if that is a problem, why doesn't West Indies expose it? What I saw with what West Indies did, firstly, they took time to bowl the short pitch deliveries to him. He was set, Alzari Joseph bowled few, but by the time he was set, now get him out if you think. But I think at the moment he's got runs, he'll show it. Talking about Alzari in that Insta Live, did you hear what Surya Kumar? I think the Alzari's name came up, and Surya said, "Yaar, usko bolo thoda dheere dale." He's been so, which just tells you that Alzari is on the minds of the Indian players. He is bowling quick.
He was. In fact, I remember in the first match when he was peppering Shreyas, he was quite wayward at times. I was surprised there weren't a few wides for, but he was getting that pace and he was getting it to climb. So, and mind you, Shreyas and I think Surya would be pretty familiar with Alzari. Played with him in Mumbai also. So
correct. You want to answer that question?
Vijay Shankar is joining us. Wow.
Vijay Shankar has all the time now.
What a shame that Sidvi is not here today.
His
hero.
Your biggest supporter is
not here. So Vijay Shankar is asking, sir, what does nothing more to add mean? Now go back in time and you'd remember.
Just let Abhijit know.
So
why is he asking that question?
I really want to know.
This is a Takya Kalam on Sports Today. We use it very often.
Very often.
So whenever, like, if he said something, and I agree.
And everyone else agrees.
Okay.
No, not everyone. Let's say he said about whatever. Let's say you spoke about Shreyas Iyer.
Okay.
And I said, then he said something, and then he says, "What do you think?" And I'll say, nothing more to add, because so how we say it, what it means, Vijay Shankar, is we quote MS Dhoni. Very famously, MS Dhoni had said this on Twitter. Nothing more to add. I'll give you a context. So we use that. So we say, in the words of MS Dhoni, Nothing more to
Nothing
add.
more to
So MS Dhoni, do you remember the
Context, yeah.
So tell me.
So the context was that there was criticism on, should I take names?
No, about a commentator.
So there was a commentator, a reputed commentator, who had
Yeah.
come under the scanner,
Yeah.
and he had been attacked by a prominent Bollywood star.
You can take the
Amitabh
Bollywood.
Bachchan had come on Twitter and said
Yeah.
that XYZ commentator should be talking more about Indian players.
Okay.
Dhoni co-tweeted that
Yes.
and said nothing more to add.
Yes.
Hence.
So it was about an Indian commentator, and Amitabh Bachchan felt that he was very critical of Indian players and only talking about the opposition players. By the way, I mean, just to add my 2 bits, I mean, whoever the commentator was, and I don't want to just take any name without 100% being sure, because I know I can see a lot of comments
Very clever
coming, but
people.
since the gentleman who started
Come
the
on.
tweet didn't take the name, I will also not take the name.
Yeah.
But my point is, a commentator's job is to be objective.
Yeah.
He's not just there to
He
praise
was a cheerleader.
to one thing. So I disagree with, as great as Mr. Amitabh Bachchan is, I'm his biggest fan, by the
And
way,
with
as an actor.
MSD as well.
And MSD.
Hands down.
But I think they're not right on all occasions. So
And this was one case where I definitely wasn't in agreement with what was said.
yeah.
Okay, Vikram Talreja is asking us, can Samson come in place of KL against West Indies T20?
Vikram, by the way, loves asking us about our 6th bowling options and 7th bowling
And
options.
his question continues, and who will be your 6th bowling option if Pandya got injured somehow in World T20? You can praise Shreyas, but with 3 and 4 already taken, we need someone who can bowl.
That's where Deepak Hooda is also
Yeah,
in consideration.
yeah. But also, I don't think they're looking at it like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think. I think the other option they'll go for a backup, like would be Akshar Patel, or
Yeah.
you got Ravindra Jadeja. So those are your option, and you got a Deepak Hooda.
Honestly, I think even the Indian selection knows there is no Hardik Pandya replacement. If
Yeah.
Pandya somehow something happens,
Yeah,
you are
No,
making
that's why
contingency
they
plans.
continued with Venkatesh Iyer just as a backup.
Just as a backup,
he's not going to
exactly.
go, but as a backup. So just to let you know, I mean, again, I don't think they're going to look at a pure batsman, and I think Shreyas Iyer is in contention. And secondly, about what was this first bit was about Samsung coming in, could be, but I think they have enough options that they may not ask him to stay back. I don't know. We'll have to wait and watch.
Yeah,
but
but
it wouldn't be
again-
a bad idea if you ask him to stay back.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there, but of course, if you want to fill out a squad, no harm keeping Sanju. He's not done his chances.
Yeah, now that
Any
KL
harm.
has been ruled out. Yep. Last question you can take.
Oh, so Captain is back.
Again.
And he says that IPL and Sony was major part of the childhood for people aged between 20 to 27. I'm
Now.
28 and I can agree with that statement. So he's right. And I'm also willing to believe that Star will revamp their broadcast since they don't have digital. Now, that second part I'm not so sure of. I think they're fairly happy with the way their product is. Because it
Yeah.
works. Despite our criticisms.
Yeah. No, but they will. Yeah. I don't know. It's tough to comment about the second.
No.
But he's right about Sony. We mentioned it. In the
In fact, I remember when reports started leaking out that Sony had got the rights this time. Social media was a buzz with just that stuff. That it's like a part of our childhood.
Extra
coming
innings
back.
is gonna come
Yeah, all that. Yes.
What a start by Shiki Boy.
And
Four.
Jason Holder's playing. Wow.
Yeah, Holder was going to play. Yes, he
right.
was available for this game. That makes a big difference to the West Indies team. Huh?
Yeah, it does. It does. Adds both to the batting and
that
bowling.
marginal losses can now turn into marginal wins by just one addition.
Correct.
So yeah, prediction. What do you think? India? How much does India get?
I think they'll get 320, and then I think they'll win.
I can also see 300 coming your way.
300?
Easily.
So we have a thing that we'll just put a specific number.
Yeah, he's gone 300.
300,
300,
exact?
yeah.
Okay.
300, 320. I'll go 310 then. Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Okay then. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you mid innings. Till then, take care. Don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today. Plenty content we've just put, including that Insta Live. Check that out. Bye bye. See you.
Vanakkam.
Vanakkam.